Hi everyone, today's video tutorial will show you how to install Boost Auto Parts wireless power fold Ram style tow mirrors for your 5th gen Dodge Ram trucks. This video applies to vehicles not originally equipped with power fold and shows you how to add this feature using Boost Auto Parts wireless module. This procedure is applicable to 2019 and newer 5th gen Dodge Ram trucks, but for exact fitment, please reference our website at boostautoparts.com. Our wireless power fold tow mirrors are shipped with all necessary harnesses and taps to perform this installation. Start by using a trim tool to remove this triangular trim panel covering the mirror mounting bolts. With a trim tool, pry up on the window switch. Unplug the connectors on the back of the mirror switch and press the locking tabs inwards to release the connectors. With a pick, remove the trim panel behind the door handle. Unscrew this Phillips head screw from behind the door handle. Open the door handle and use a trim tool to pry on the front of the door handle trim to remove it. Unplug the connectors on the back of the door handle trim cover. Remove the 6 T20 Torx screws on the door panel. You can use a pick to help you remove the screws as shown here. Be sure to remove the inner trim clips using a pick. Pull up and out on the door panel to disengage it from the door. Be careful not to damage the door lock tab. Disconnect this connector from the back of the door panel. To do this, first pull up on the red tab. Next, press the connector tab and pull up to release the connector. Unplug the connector on the door behind the door harness. Fully remove the door panel from the door. Locate this door module above the speaker. This is where the mirror harness is connected. Unplug the mirror connectors from the door module. They are connectors 1, 2, and 3 from the bottom on the left of the door module. Undo this trim clip holding the mirror harness down. Remove the tape holding the mirror harness to the trim clips as shown here. With the help of another person supporting the mirror from the other side, unscrew the 3 10mm nuts holding the mirror in place. The mirror can be removed. Carefully guide the harness and connectors out. Next, we're going to update to our Boost Auto Parts mirrors. Carefully guide the harness to avoid any pinching. Holding the mirror in place, reinstall the 3 10mm nuts to secure the mirror. Plug in the mirror connectors back to the door module. They're keyed so they can only go into one slot. Your mirror harness may or may not have this green connector. Now we're going to install the wireless upgrade kit. Your driver's side will have 2 harnesses and your passenger side will have 1 harness. On the driver's side, one of your harnesses has 2 white connectors and 1 black connector. The other harness for the driver's side has 2 red disconnects, 2 small black connectors, and 1 large black connector. On the driver's side, unplug the connector located second from the bottom on the right of the door module. Next, cut back the tape holding the wires in place. Be careful not to damage any wires in the process. Using the provided T-tap, tap onto the wire at pin location 1. For this vehicle, the wire is black. Always reference pin location as wire color may vary. Next, use another T-tap to connect to the wire at pin location 5. For us, this wire is red. Now we can attach the quick disconnects. Take the red wire from the Boost Auto Parts harness and connect it into the tap on pin 5, the red wire. The black quick disconnect from our harness can be connected to the T-tap on pin 1, the black wire. In both instances, make sure the metal on the quick disconnect plugs all the way in. Now, taking the Boost Auto Parts harness with the 2 white connectors, plug the harness into the mirror. The connectors are keyed so they can only be inserted one way. The other end of this connector can be attached to the mirror harness. These connectors will be black with blue and yellow wires. After that, we can plug back the connector that came out of the door module. The power fold harness can now be plugged into the Boost Auto Parts wireless power fold module. This harness may include an additional black connector with orange and black wires as well. This connector is not needed for this specific application and can be ignored. With all the connectors in place, the wireless modules and harnesses can be secured using zip tie. If you purchase signal-only mirrors or if your original mirrors had running lights, please disregard this section for installing the running light wire. Now we're ready to run the running light wire. This will be the orange wire in your kit. Go ahead and unscrew the 2 T20 Torx screws holding the door harness retaining plate to the door. Then remove this plate from the door. Remove the door boot on the cab side of the vehicle. 4 clips is holding the boot in. Press them in and pull the boot out. To fully remove it, slightly close the door and pull the connector out. Unplug the 2 connectors from the door jamb connector retainer. Undo the weather stripping and pull the door harness to the door side. Now focusing on the retaining plate harness, remove the tape to free up the tabs. Next, plug in the orange wire for the mirror to the orange extension wire. This orange wire will be our running light connection. You can use a trim tool to pry up on the tabs and detach the connector. Feed the open end of the orange wire through the retaining plate, pulling through all excess slack. Use a sturdy metal rod and some electrical tape to run the orange wire through the door jamb boot. Be careful not to catch any wires. We're using a straightened out coat hanger for this video, but any sturdy rod will work. Once you've fed all the orange wire through, you can reattach the retaining plate. Put the door harness with the running light wire back under the weather stripping to the door jamb area. Plug in the door jamb connectors. We're going to move on to the door sill kick panel. Go ahead and remove it with a trim tool. Locate this trim clip in the cab to the left of the parking brake. Feed the orange running light wire into the cab from the door boot, as shown here. Retape the retaining clip to the end of the door harness. Reconnect the door harness boot into the cab, as shown here. You may need to slightly close the door to allow it to reach. Reinstall the two T20 Torx screws to secure the door harness, as well as the weather stripping near the door harness. Repeat the following steps on the passenger side. The procedure is the same. Once the passenger orange running light is inside of the cab, undo the trim clips holding the passenger footwell trim panel in place. Locate this opening in the center console area of the truck and guide a metal rod through the opening from the driver's side to the passenger side. Tape the passenger orange wire to the metal rod and pull the metal rod back to the driver's side. Reinstall the trim clips to secure the passenger footwell trim panel. Guide the passenger running light wire above the hood release cable as shown here. Cut the passenger and driver wires to length and keep the cut driver side wire for later steps. Here we are splicing the running light wires together. We are using butt connectors, but you can use your preferred method of splicing. Add the previously cut extra length to the other end of the splice. This wire should be long enough to reach the underhood fuse box. Run a sturdy metal rod through this grommet in the firewall, which is located to the left of the steering column. Tape the end of the orange running light wire to the metal rod. Pull the running light wire into the engine bay. Next, locate the fuse box in the front driver's side corner of the engine bay. To remove the fuse box cover, depress the two side latches. Trim the orange running light wire to the length of the fuse box. Strip the insulation off the end of the orange wire. Crimp a fuse tap to the end of the orange running light wire. Locate and remove fuse number 79, which is the fuse the running light will be tapped to. Install the original fuse into the lower slot of the fuse tab. This fuse tab can now be placed into the slot where the initial fuse originally was. Close the fuse box cover, making sure the orange wire does not get pinched. Reinstall both door sill trim panels. Plug in the 2-pin connector from the door panel back into the door. Reconnect the connector on the door panel, pressing the red locking tab in. Bring the door panel into place, being sure to keep the door switch connectors and door lock lever accessible. Press the door panel into the door. Reconnect the two connectors on the back of the door handle cover. Press the door handle trim cover into place. Reinstall the screw behind the door handle. Set the inner door handle trim cover back into place. Plug in the window switch connector, then press the switch back into the door panel. The 6 inner trim clips and T20 torque screws can now be put back, securing the door panel into place. Press the triangular trim panel in. If your original mirrors did not have turn signals or puddle lamp, sales codes will need to be enabled, or reference a different Boost Auto Parts video. To test your module activation, select the left mirror adjust button with the ignition on, then press the left right button sequence. You should hear the module beep twice, indicating that it's active. And just like that, your installation is complete. This next section of the video will be a tutorial showing you how to wirelessly power fold the mirrors. Please note that this is filmed on a GMC truck, but the same procedure is applicable for Ram trucks.
To begin, start by activating the modules. Do this by pressing the left mirror adjust selector. Then use the left right button sequence on the arrow pad to activate the modules. Once you hear 2 fast beeps, the module is activated. While the modules are activated, the mirror glass will not adjust. Once the modules are activated, you may power fold the mirrors. Tap the up arrow to fold the mirror out, or tap the down arrow to fold the mirror in. You may see the passenger side mirror start folding slightly after the driver's side due to the modules communicating from side to side. To deactivate the mirror, you have 2 options. The first option would be to let the modules time out. If there is no activity for 10 seconds, the modules will automatically deactivate. You can also deactivate the modules manually by using the left right button sequence on the arrow pad. You'll hear 3 fast beeps once the modules are deactivated. Once the modules are deactivated, any left-hand mirror adjustment will be slightly delayed to prevent erratic module activation.
The Boost Auto Parts wireless tow mirrors can be purchased on our website at boostautoparts.com. Boost Auto Parts also offers a wide range of parts and accessories for your truck or SUV. To stay up to date on new product releases and more videos like this, subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's all for now. Catch you on the next one.